And we are back for part three and our final installment here with Anthony Perry. Now, you're a family man.
Yeah.
You're married. How many kids do you have? Tell us about your family.
3 kids, my beautiful wife, Tanya, Anthony is second, Jonathan, and Olivia. Yes, 3 kids, beautiful. 2 in elementary, 1 in middle school. My wife, prayer warrior. My wife is also a minister, so she's Minister Perry. Yeah, my wife is a minister. Yeah.
Okay. And now, so you got your family and you are a college graduate. I know you had touched on that you have some degrees. Where did you attend college and what are your degrees in?
Yes, I attended the University of Toledo in Ohio, and then I transferred to UCLA. I majored in business, and then I got my master's degree at Hope International and in science.
What did you do after college? Did you go directly into teaching or was it kind of like a roundabout situation?
When I graduated, I wanted to teach business to high school kids.
Oh, wow.
And I was going to work for the Linwood School District. That was the first district I applied for. I took CBES. I was going to work for them. However, I got second thoughts. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell myself at 22, 23, I wasn't ready to be a teacher. I would have got fired. The way, these kids talking to adults, and at this time, it was kids was hitting teachers.
It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't have been. I probably got
Right.
fired because wasn't those 16 or 17-year-old boys that's gonna be beating me up at 21, 22. So I said maybe that's not for me at that age. So what I did was I went into business. So I say this a lot to people. They ask about your first job, and I tell them, "What did you do?" I said, "I sell drugs." They look at me like, "What? You sold drugs?" Yes. Went into pharmaceutical sales. Yes, I was.
Gotcha.
And it's funny because some people look at me like, "Oh my goodness, did you say you sold drugs?" And then some people look at me like, "Hey, what you got?" And I was like, no, pharmaceutical sales. At the time, I'm a licensed, pharmacy technician in the state of California. But I became a store manager for a pharmacy. That was my first job after college.
You do so many things, but I mean, like, what are you really passionate about?
Just helping people. And that's what it's about. It's really about helping. One reason I became a teacher is because when I was working in corporate America, my son started school in kindergarten. I wanted to be a parent volunteer. I didn't want to just be one of these dads that worked all the time and didn't spend quality time with their kids. So I became a parent volunteer at my kids' school 1 day a week for 1 hour to help kids read in kinder. I realized how much our teachers need help. And let me paint this perspective for you. And I want people to realize America, our teachers need help. My son's kindergarten teacher had 34 kids. We had kids in this classroom that didn't speak English. We had kids in this classroom that needed one-on-one. We had kids in this classroom where parents had worked with them and they was almost ready for first grade. We had kids in this classroom that didn't know how to follow instructions and couldn't sit down and running around and hitting kids. And I said, this is an absolute mess. This teacher needs help. So when I stepped foot in that classroom, I said, it's time for me to create a different change and get back into education. And that goes back to when I first graduated college. I didn't want to be a teacher because I wasn't ready. But then once I got married and had my own children and matured, I said, hey, this is time. So I believe that first day I volunteered in my kids' classroom, that's when I decided to make a career change.
Okay, and then you mentioned before that, you do work in the school system, and I know that you work in the school system here in Compton, and your kids are also in school here in Compton. Yeah. So what do your kids think about, seeing you work out in the community and seeing you at their school? It's like, and they see you at home. It's like, Dad is everywhere. What do your kids think about your busy lifestyle and how you work in the community?
My kids, they actually love it. I ran a couple years ago. I ran for the mayor of Compton. I lost. Congratulations to the current mayor. But my kids, my daddy's the mayor. That's what they already claimed before me. I'm like, wow. So they went to school and told their friends and said, my daddy's about to be the mayor. I'm like, oh, you can't say that, but I thank you. You know, so I'm like,
Well, I mean, there's still time. You know what I'm saying? It could happen.
so they were like my biggest supporters, and they keep you so humble because they're so excited, and just that support, like my daddy's gonna be the mayor, and I'm like, wow, and they're telling all their friends and excitement and seeing my neighbors in the community. So the kids, they love it, and also they see me on campus. It shows them that, hey, I better do good in school, because I'm very stickler with my kids personally in school, and I tell them you better not be talking back to the teacher, you better do your homework and things like that. So it's very important as a man, as a black man, that my young black children see their father on their school campuses, to know that I'm in tune with their lives.
Right, in their education, which is very important. And now, with so much going on, from the music to the politics to raising a young family, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself in an elected position. I really do. I believe that I will be in a position to help people. In order to really help people, you have to have some sort of power. One thing that I notice with many politicians, they hoard it for themselves, they hoard it for their political friends, political things of that nature. We all seen that. But however, I believe it's important to get in a position of power and to give it away to the people. And that's what it's about. It's important to be in a situation where you can help people get into homes. It's important to be in a situation where you can increase funding for schools. It's important to be in a situation where you can ensure everyone got access to health care. And that's what it's about. It's about helping people.
If you could change one thing about America, what would it be?
Education. Education.
Not racism?
Racism, yes. But a lot of even racism, a lot of these grown adults, they had terrible education. They're not really educated. They're only listening to what their selected group, their family, their cults are telling them. But educated people know racism is wrong. I mean,
And a waste of time.
Yes, I mean, I've never met a person that said, oh yeah, discrimination against people is absolutely right. Now, does people say that behind our back? Absolutely. But no one on this planet can honestly sit there and say that racism is the right thing to do. No, it's wrong. It's evil. I say it is evil.
Right, and like you said, it stems from a lack of education and empathy and all those things that start with the letter E. And now, speaking of that, I mean, do you have any regrets? We've talked about a lot of positive things, but anything that you would go back and change?
Yes and no. And I say that for a reason. I do have a small regret, but it's a big regret. And it's a personal regret. And I talked to my wife about this, and she say, no, you made the right decision. But if I can go back, it was marriage. And it's not getting married, but honestly, I should have got married sooner. And the reason why is it was because of myself. And I tell myself, and my wife, she loves me and forgive me for this, but I was scared to get married. I felt like I was giving up a part of my life. And in actuality, once I got married, I felt like I learned that I gained life. So if I could make a change, I probably would have got married a little bit sooner. But then again, like my wife says, she say, no, you probably did something stupid and we'd probably be divorced or something.
Right. Everything is flowing how it's supposed to flow. All right. And then just rounding things out with this final installment of our interview series, what is something about Anthony Perry, the hip hop politician, that people don't know that you would like them to know?
A fun fact, I flew a plane, single engine plane. One in Van Nuys Airport and at the Compton Airport. I do have a passion to be a private pilot, not commercial, but however, like many people, I'm not a big fan of the airport, but we got to travel. We got to go to the airport when we're traveling far distances. I'm not going to be driving a car to Georgia. I'm not going to be driving a car to, wherever, So I believe that if I had a private license, a private pilot license, and be able to take, family trips. It'll be a convenient and also family fun. So a fun fact about me is I flew a plane, and I have took introductory classes on learning how to fly.
Oh, wow. That's a very fun fact. I wasn't expecting that. All right. Well, that about rounds it up, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into this series. Let the people know where they can find you in case they want to, find out more about you, stream your music, etc.
Yes. Anthony Perry, the Hip Hop Politician, Volume 2, on all streaming platforms, iTunes, Amazon. You can stream on Tidal, Napster, all streaming platforms. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Anthony Perry USA, Anthony Perry USA, Anthony Perry on Facebook. But please go and download the album, The Hip Hop Politician. It's for everyone. If you're a Democrat, it's for you. You're a Republican, it's for you. You want to learn about politics, it's for you. You want to make school more cool, it's for you. You want to know some truths about racism and how it's disguised, this is for you. So please, this album is for everybody. Go and download it. Anthony Perry, The Hip Hop Politician, Volume 2.
All right. And make sure if you see him on the ballot, you check off his name, Anthony Perry. I'm Nina Childs. You can find me on Instagram at NinaBina_Childs. Until next time, we want to thank the wonderful people here at Color of Compton in the beautiful city of Compton, California. And we'll see you all next time.
Next time. Thank you.
I'm Perry Independent, and it's time for everybody out there in the streets to turn your ballots up. Make sure you vote in this upcoming election. Yeah, I'm Perry Independent, that's me. I stand on my own 2 feet.